In a quiet corner of an ancient land, where the morning mist clung to the valleys and the air was filled with the songs of birds, there lay a place untouched by time. Beside a living, breathing forest, where the trees whispered secrets to those who would listen, lived a boy named Luca. Luca was not just any boy. He had a heart as vast as the forest itself. Luca was not a prince or a warrior's son, just a kind, curious soul who found joy in nature's company. He had an innate ability to see beauty in the smallest details. His days were spent exploring meadows, where wildflowers danced in the breeze, and the sky stretched endlessly above. Befriending birds and small creatures, Luca learned the language of the wild, understanding the calls and whispers of the animals. He spent hours listening to the world around him, the rustling leaves, the chirping insects, and the distant calls of unseen creatures. The whispering woods, with its towering trees and shifting light, was both beautiful and mysterious. It was a place where shadows danced and light played tricks on the eyes. While villagers feared the woods, believing it to be a place of danger and dark magic, Luca felt a deep connection, sensing the forest's secrets and energy. He knew the woods were alive, watching and waiting. He saw the world as something to cherish, not conquer, and treated every living thing with gentle respect. Luca's touch was healing, his presence calming. Luca's compassion and courage set him apart, preparing him for a challenge that would soon emerge from the heart of the forest. He was destined for something greater, a journey that would test his spirit and heart. This is the story of how a gentle boy became the forest's greatest friend, a guardian of its secrets, and a bridge between the human world and the wild. Change crept quietly into the woods, birds fell silent, leaves yellowed and a strange blight spread. Luca noticed the streams grew cloudy, wildflowers wilted, and animals grew anxious. The forest's vibrant life was fading, replaced by a heavy sadness. Legend spoke of the heart of the forest, a magical source deep within, whose corruption would doom all life. As fear gripped the village, Luca's resolve grew. He could not let the woods perish. The challenge was immense, but his love for the forest outweighed his fear. Luca decided to venture into the unknown, determined to heal the fading heart before it was too late. The fate of the woods rested on his courage. Luca ventured deep into the decaying woods, where he met Pip, a trembling forest sprite. Pip explained the heart of the forest was being poisoned by a creeping shadow in the sunken temple. Luca's kindness won Pip's trust, and together they sought help. Above them, Ilara, a wise old owl, watched with discerning eyes. Ilara offered her guidance, knowing the path ahead was filled with riddles and illusions. The trio, Luca's heart, Pip's magic, and Ilara's wisdom, formed an unlikely alliance. United by purpose, they set out to save the forest, each bringing a unique strength. Their journey would test not just their bravery, but their trust in one another. The quest to restore the heart had truly begun. Together they stepped into the unknown. Ilara led the way as the group faced their first trial, the infamous Chattering Gorge, a place whispered about in local legends for its treacherous winds and echoing voices. The path was narrow, carved by time and water, and every step forward demanded courage from each adventurer. The air was thick with anticipation, and the sound of distant water crashing below reminded them of the stakes. A single mossy log spanned the chasm, slick with dew and trembling underfoot. The swirling mist below seemed to reach up, eager to claim the unwary. As the wind howled, it carried with it the doubts and fears of every traveler who had ever crossed this gorge, making the crossing as much a test of will as of balance. Luca pressed on, his heart pounding, fueled by memories of the fading forest he longed to save. With Pip, his loyal companion, offering encouragement at every shaky step, Luca found the strength to move forward. The group watched, holding their breath, as he reached the other side, proving that hope could overcome fear. Their relief was short-lived, for next came the maze of mists, a labyrinth shrouded in thick fog, where every path looked the same and illusions danced at the edge of vision. The silence was broken only by the soft crunch of leaves and the occasional unsettling echo. Alara's steady voice called out through the haze, guiding her friends when sight failed them. Luca, learning to trust not just his eyes but his instincts and the support of those around him, discovered new reserves of courage. Each call, each reassuring word, became a lifeline in the disorienting fog. Pip stayed close, his presence a comfort in the confusion. Together the friends navigated the maze, relying on each other's strengths and never letting go of hope, even when the way forward seemed impossible to find. The journey was not about grand heroics, but about quiet acts of courage and the power of teamwork. In the stillness between challenges, they found strength in shared laughter and silent understanding. Each obstacle deepened their bond, teaching them that true bravery often means trusting those beside you and lifting each other up when the path grows dark. At last, the sunken temple emerged from the shadows, its ancient stones half submerged and cloaked in mystery. The air was thick with the promise of secrets waiting to be uncovered. But as they stood before its looming entrance, the group knew their greatest challenges and their greatest discoveries were still to come. At the sunken temple, the adventurers found themselves standing before a massive stone door, its surface covered in intricate carvings and mysterious symbols. The air was thick with anticipation and the weight of countless years. Inscribed at the center of the door were the words, "Give a voice to the voiceless." The phrase echoed in their minds, a riddle that seemed to demand more than brute force or clever tricks. Luca studied the carvings, noticing that each depicted a different animal, some fierce, others gentle. He realized the answer lay in empathy, not strength. He began to mimic the calls and gestures of the animals carved on the door, giving voice to those who could not speak for themselves. The others watched, holding their breath as Luca's actions seemed to resonate with the ancient magic of the temple. Suddenly the carvings shimmered with a soft, golden light. The massive stone door rumbled and slowly swung open, revealing a narrow, spiraling staircase that descended into darkness below. A chill wind swept out from the depths, carrying with it the scent of earth and secrets long buried. Inside, the passage was alive with shifting shadows that seemed to move of their own accord. Whispers echoed along the walls, their words indistinct but heavy with fear and doubt. The darkness pressed in, feeding on the group's uncertainty and threatening to overwhelm their resolve. Pip, sensing the danger, summoned a faint magical glow that hovered above his palm, casting a gentle light that pushed back the encroaching shadows. Luca stepped protectively in front of him, shielding Pip from the worst of the darkness, their bond growing stronger with every step. Ilara's wisdom guided them, her calm voice steadying their nerves as she led the way through the twisting corridors. Yet, with every turn, the shadows seemed to grow bolder, testing their courage and unity as they drew closer to the temple's heart. Their journey through the temple was not just a test of strength or skill, but a true trial of spirit. Each obstacle demanded trust, compassion, and the willingness to face their deepest fears together. Only by combining their unique gifts, Luca's empathy, Pip's magic, and Ilara's wisdom, could they hope to move forward. It was their unity, not their individual talents, that allowed them to overcome the temple's challenges. At last, they reached the final chamber, a vast, echoing space where a mysterious artifact pulsed with a dark, ominous glow. Here, at the very heart of the temple, the source of the blight awaited, its power palpable in the air. The true test of unity was at hand, and the fate of their world would depend on whether they could stand together against the darkness. In the temple's heart, the great crystal pulsed weakly, its light flickering as if calling for help, smothered by a writhing shadow that threatened to consume all hope. The darkness fed on fear and despair, growing stronger with every moment, overwhelming each of them alone, leaving them feeling powerless. Luca realized their only hope was to unite their strengths. Ilara's ancient song, Pip's pure magic, and his own deep love for the woods and all its creatures. Together, they focused their hope and friendship, hearts beating as one, creating a wave of golden light. The shadow recoiled in fear, unable to withstand their combined spirit and courage. The heart of the forest was freed, its light restored and shining once more. Their unity, not individual power, broke the blight's hold forever. The forest's life force surged back, banishing the darkness for good. They had saved the woods by standing together. The healing had truly begun. The heart's light spread through the woods, reviving every tree, stream, and creature. Luca, Pip, and Alara returned to a world transformed. Sunlight, birdsong, and vibrant life everywhere. The villagers, awed by the forest's recovery, listened as Luca shared their story. He spoke not of his own bravery, but of teamwork, wisdom, and the magic of friendship. The bond between village and woods was renewed, fear replaced by respect. Luca learned that courage is acting for what you love, even when afraid. His quiet kindness had become his greatest strength. The Whispering Woods thrived, its secrets safe with its new guardians. And so, even the gentlest heart proved it could change the world.